Not. I don't give a about my health. I mean, if you give me a shot at glory, you can take my right arm away from me when I'm older. So I don't care.
If you win in a month, what do you get out of that? Like, what's gonna give you the most pleasure? Whatever money you might walk away with, knowing that you've won, like the pride, the bragging rights. What is it that?
I mean, it's kind of all of the above. I don't know. I mean, some people say $1 million changes their life. I mean, it would change my life for about a year. I'd blow it pretty quick, I feel like. So, but you know, winning a rodeo that the best guys are at is always the best feeling. It's not always just the money. Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely a bonus. You know, it sets you up a little bit better. But you know, it's always been beating the best guys for me. Is what I've always loved. So that.
And calling itself, I think it's like the richest rodeo or whatever, you know, with such a big prize pool. I mean, I'm sure there's adrenaline every time you hop on a horse. But
yeah, I mean, I get adrenaline in big situations. You know, I've always had a hard time at like real small rodeos. I'm not a small rodeo king. I don't go to duck off rodeos and compete against guys that aren't that I'm not going to see at the NFR. You know, so I've always done better on bigger stages. So the American's one of the biggest stages in the world. So we'll go out and try to be on top.
In other words, you like more eyeballs being on you.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, when I go to small rodeos, sometimes I'm too relaxed, and I don't know. There's just something about it that doesn't get me that fired up. I mean, if you kind of look at my win history, I mean, it's always a big show, and I'm not trying to brag. It's just there's always a lot of people there. There's a lot of money, and so that's what gets me fired up. If I'm not fired up to ride, I'm not going to ride my best. So we'll see.
You say if I look at your win history, but I mean, you don't have much of a history. You've only been doing this a few years, right?
Yeah, but the history of the wins is pretty good.
Yeah, you've been successful, but I'm just saying, like, you haven't done this a long time. You've basically been successful since day one, right?
Yeah, I've been very lucky. And it seems the harder I work, the luckier I get. So we've done good.
And I guess my point in saying that seems like it makes it more amazing that you do have that history of wins, given the fact that you didn't start doing this professionally until what, 2022?
2022 is my rookie year.
Yeah. So how do you explain that you've?
I don't know. I mean, you know, whenever I was 13, I started riding bucking horses, and Ty Murray was a real good friend of my dad's, and obviously Ty Murray is, in my opinion, the greatest cowboy of all time. So you know, I had the best help from day one, and you know, seeing the best guys in the world stand in front of me at a young age was really the reason I did it. It's like being a kid not knowing what you want to do, and then Mike Tyson's like, "I'll help you learn how to box," and you're like, "Yes, I'm a boxer. I have the best help." So that was kind of my thing, and you know, he set me up with a plan where I was pretty much going to practice until I was 18. I wasn't going to rodeo, no amateur rodeos, no high school rodeos, nothing, just straight practice and get me ready to go to the finals when I was 18. So, and no bareback rider's ever done that in history.
I was gonna say, is that common for teens to not compete in amateur?
As soon as I did, it was.
But before you, nobody had really ever done that?
I don't think anybody realized that they were able to do it. I mean, there's been 18-year-olds make the finals in team roping and calf roping and barrel racing and stuff like that, but never and bull riding, bronc riding, right or right, but not in the bareback riding. I think people always thought that was kind of a mature guy's deal, but I was a straight up little kid when I made the finals. No, because I've been preparing for the NFR from the time I was 13. That's 5 years of just thinking about it. It'd be like being a boxer and hitting a heavy bag for 5 years, and they throw you in a ring with somebody, you'd murder them. Yeah, it'd be a massacre. I mean, you've been waiting for it for 5 years.
I mean, that's true, but also you brought up Mike Tyson earlier. there's a difference between hopping in a ring with someone like me after 5 years of punching a bag and hopping in a ring with Mike Tyson and thinking.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying hopping. Like I didn't go from I didn't go from training on practice horses to getting on the rankest horses in the world. Actually, that's wrong. I did, but I wasn't just going to get on the rankest stuff in the world. And as soon as I cracked out, I mean, I got on Ghost Town at like my 4th rodeo, which ended up killing everybody, including me. But yeah, I mean, it's just my training and how I prepared for turning 18 set me up to make the NFL when I was 18, and that's all because of Ty Murray.
And you mentioned Ty, how it's kind of like if somebody puts Mike Tyson in front of you, like, well, I guess I'm going to box. If someone puts Ty in front of me, I guess I'm going to ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Prior to that, let's say 10 years ago, because you said you were 13. Prior to that, did this interest you?
No. I was a through and through wakeboarder. That's all I wanted to do was wakeboard, play sports. I mean, I did every sport you could think of other than soccer and lacrosse. But, you can kind of know why I didn't do those sports. But, I was always just a normal kid that loved competing. And, I was a wakeboarder that got really, really good way too fast and got to my head, and I stopped getting better, and everybody started getting better than me. I would beat these kids, every time we went to a competition, and then I stopped getting better, and they wanted to beat me more than I wanted to. So I wanted to do something else, and I didn't know what it was. I was thinking, maybe I didn't know. I wanted to race something. I was having ideas of racing like BMX, and my dad wouldn't let me race dirt bikes, so that was out of the question. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and my granddad asked if I wanted to. He thought that I should ride bareback horses, and I was like, riding bareback horses. Well, he was like, a buddy of mine, Don Graham, showed me videos of these kids your age riding, bucking ponies. That's how it started. I was going to ride bucking ponies. Well, that lasted about 2 weeks, and we started. I honestly fell in love with bareback riding before I even got on a bucking machine. It was as soon as I started watching videos and ordering riggings, and I just fell in love with it before I even did it. I just knew I was going to be a bareback rider.
But prior to that, like 10, 11 years old, you were all in on wakeboarding?
Hell no. I knew my dad and granddad were world champions, and my mom and grandmother made the NFR, but that was something I never wanted a part of. I thought wearing a cowboy hat was stupid. I was flat bill hats and board shorts. I mean, it was just how I was. I had nothing to do with rodeo, and I never wanted anything to do with rodeo. Then it slapped me right in the back of the melon.
Now, were you professional when you were wakeboarding at that young?
I mean, you can't be professional until you win a pro card, and I wasn't good enough to win a pro card, so no, I wasn't pro. But I mean, I could have turned pro a couple of years later, maybe.
You stuck with it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there was ever this expectation of, Rocker might be the next big one, or he'll probably end up going into this? Do you feel like there was ever that expectation?
There was expectations for me to be the best at whatever I did. I don't think anybody knew what I was going to do. I don't think the Steiner family is very predictable of what we might do next. But I feel like people knew I was going to be great at something from the time I was a little kid. And I did too. Maybe that's just me, but no, I bet they didn't think I'd rodeo.
Really? Because I mean, you were showing me the saddles in there that you said it was like your great-great-grandfather. So this seems like a world that your family has been in
since day one. I mean, we've been involved in rodeo since beginning. I mean, it's just what we've always done. Really, I was the first one. Me and my dad were really the first ones that never thought we would do it. I mean, he has the same stories I do. Dad was a football player, trying to make it in football, and grades didn't work out. So he didn't really know what he wanted to do. He wanted to do something. The Steiners can't just sit around and not be the best at something. It's just not what we do. So him and his buddy started team roping, just messing around on the weekends, and then my grandmother told him that he should start bulldogging with this guy down the road, and he's like, okay, I'll try it or whatever. Then he really liked it and got great at it, and he started in 95, made the finals in 2000. So yeah, 5 years. He trained for 5 years, till he made the finals. So really, me and my dad are the same damn story. It's just we didn't think we would do it, and then we did it.
So what makes you guys so good then? This is a path that initially your dad, you didn't want to go on, but it's like it almost seems like natural.
We have like, I don't know. My dad's the same way. Me and my dad are so similar. It's pretty crazy. But I have this thing of like where I'm like addicted to learning, and it's almost my fault too because I fell in love with wakeboarding, and I trained so hard and wanted to be so good so fast that really I felt like I had it figured out. And I have the same thing kind of now. You know, I got really, really good really, really fast, and you know, sometimes you feel like you have it all figured out, and you really don't. You never have it figured out. I mean, there's always more to learn, and I still have to remind myself of that. You know, I get in trouble with it, not focusing and not training as hard as I should. I feel like I'm the best, and I don't need to train, but that's not the case. I always got to get better. But I don't know. You know, sometimes I miss learning new things. I don't know. Maybe we'll be on to something next.
I was going to say, is there a chance that bareback riding ends and you pick up something else soon?
There's a big chance of that.
Really?
I hope not anytime soon.
You're enjoying this?
I am. If the doctor tells me I can keep riding, then we're gonna stay here for a while. But I don't know. I don't see it going past 5 years.
Really? So you've been doing it 3 already. You mean 5 more years or 5 total?
I probably total.
So you think this may only last a couple more years?
Yeah, you know, I mean,
interest of health.
I don't give a about my health. I mean, if you give me a shot at glory, you can take my right arm away from me when I'm older. So I don't care. But I want to walk. If I can still walk, I'll keep. That's all I want. You know, I just want my legs underneath me. But I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I feel like I'm unpredictable to myself. I feel like. I don't know.
Well, I feel like a part of it's like, and this is me chiming in for me, but like your chase for greatness and glory, like greatness.
Well, my thing is like I don't.
You get to the top of something, and I feel like you're like, okay, what am I going to accomplish next?
I've already conquered this.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like, you only have one shot at life. So like, I don't want to be just great at one thing. I want to feel like I live 7 lives when I die. Like, and I already feel like I lived 3 of them. I mean, I was a wakeboarder, and then bareback rider. I mean, apparently I'm an actor, which I was on Yellowstone once. Yeah, if you look me up, I'm an actor. I'm like, what the f***? I did way cooler but you know, I don't know. I don't want to overstay my welcome.
Maybe the acting thing is a challenge. You haven't won an Oscar yet, so maybe that's the next.
Them Oscars are there ain't no way. It's literally who likes who more. Like, the best actor doesn't win. Beyonce won the best country album. She sucks. I mean, Zach Top was there. Chris Stapleton. I'm not a huge fan of Chris Stapleton's music, but and then Beyonce wins. Like, see, that's the kind of things I'm talking about. It's a popularity contest, and who wins is who. Everybody is. It's the yes man.
So you're not going to get involved in popularity contests.
No.
That you can control.
Yeah, exactly.
Like staying on a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Would you switch categories? Would you ever go roping or?
If I ever switched, it'd definitely be bull riding. All I'd have to do is stay on. I mean.
Yeah, he's not going to saddle a horse. Remember?
Do you think that would that equate to you as like the next challenge, or is it still in the same universe? Like you have to.
I think one of my downfalls is believing that I could actually make the NFL in the bull riding within 2 years.
So that's the thought that's crossed your mind.
I could do it, for sure. And my right hand shot, I'd ride with my left hand. It'd be way better. The only problem with riding bulls is by the time you ride bulls, the damn bars are closing. The girls are about to leave. The bareback riding, you at least have some time.
So tell me. You said this while I was switching the mics, but I feel like you're obviously clearly, you're not putting on a front, you're not buttoning yourself up to, you're being you. Is that because you're 21? Because as you said, I only get one life. You know, why present a fake version? Because I'm sure there are other riders who would go in front of a camera and just be sure, yeah, I'm so excited to be doing this. It's so fun.
Yeah, well, my thing is if you put on a fake persona and you're being a fake person, you're a liar. I'm not lying about who I am. I mean, and like, I was talking to y'all on the phone, and she said something about, what was it?
Hobbies?
No.
Hobby? What's your hobby, or how do you spend time out of your rodeo?
No, it was, he wants to know something that other people don't know about you.
Yes.
Everybody knows everything about me. I would love to be this shy person that is very, what's the word? Like, no.
Demure.
Reserve.
No, that's like mysterious. I would love to be like this mysterious person that nobody knows, but that's not me. Everybody knows everything about me. I mean, people know things about me that I don't know about me. Apparently, I stabbed somebody. How about that? So, yeah, I've just always been a very open person about who I am, and if people don't like it, then go like somebody else. I'm sorry, you're going to be bored.
I was just going to ask that. You say everybody knows everything about you. I was just going to ask, does everybody like that?
No. They don't. I mean, I think most people love it, but there's quite a few people that don't like it. Because I feel like people have always like put like cowboys into this, which I don't identify with cowboy. I mean, if we're talking pronouns, cowboy ain't one of them. Because I ride bareback horses. Look at me, I'm not a cowboy. You know, people have this like idea that cowboys are like these perfect human beings, and you know, they don't cuss in the arena, and they button their shirt and wear cowboy boots and a cowboy hat everywhere, and they do everything right. They're like the heroes, which the heroes up to, you know, like. So I don't know. I've just never wanted to be the perfect human being. I want people to see my mess ups, and I've had a lot of them. So I don't want people to think that I'm like this perfect human that never fails. I don't know. It doesn't tickle my fancy. At the end of the day, I mean, like, I think about it. I mean, like, if I say in 2 years, if I retire or, you know, get hurt and can't ride anymore, I want to look back at this deal and say that I did it my way. I didn't do this how somebody else wanted me to do it. I did it my way and how I wanted to do it. And, you know, I think I'd rather do it my way and live how I want to live than be the yes man and have a world buckle. At some point, the rodeo world needs to know who we are. And, you know, there's people that people are fans of. They think they're these perfect human beings, and they're not. And nobody knows that. And I wish the fans knew what we were like.
And I guess if those guys, it almost sounds like if they screw up, their fans and the people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. Like,
yeah, I mean.
But with you, nobody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know.
If I went out into the arena and I started streaking around the arena, everybody would probably be like, "Oh, there's Rocker," you know. But like, I would never do that ever. But like, it just doesn't matter. I feel like it doesn't matter what I do in the arena anymore. So it's like, it's just kind of predicted. Like, I'm very unpredictable of what I'm gonna do, and I've tried to behave. I really have. Last year, I behaved the out of myself because I didn't get fined one time at the finals because I was trying to win a world title, and there's judges involved, so you have to kind of please some people. But yeah, I feel like I'm just unpredictable, and I get in trouble, but I feel like my fans for life. I think I'm cancelable.
If I ask enough questions, we'd probably find something to cancel. My last question here. If your next endeavor, because you say this may not last, but except for a few more years, whatever you move into next, if it's completely not even close to rodeo, something totally different, if there's something you're like, I want to be great at that, I want to conquer that, but it requires you to wake up before 10 a.m.
That might be a deal breaker.
I was wondering.
No. I'll do whatever it takes to be the best at whatever I choose to do next. That's if if I have to wake up at 3 in the morning to do whatever, I'm addicted to going from the worst in the world to the best in the world. It's my favorite. If I could do that over and over and over again, I would, which I'm going to try to do.